So the final thing I'm going to use is a bit of brake cleaner. This actually is by Holt's. You can go and get this at Screwfix or similar. Pretty cheap stuff. This is fantastic for a final degrease all over. Literally, I'm going to take some kitchen roll and some brake cleaner and go all over this block now, ready for the first coat of paint. What I've also got, and you can't see it, I'll do a quick whiz round this in a minute with the handheld camera. I've also got a heater in this area, and I've managed to get the temperature up to about 22-23 degrees in this bit of an area. So as I'm painting, the block is now nice and warm, and actually that will really help the paint to go off. So that's been a key thing today, is to get this garage up to temperature. But this is going to be the final bit you'll see me do, a quick time lapse on this, and then I'm going to get into the spraying. So this literally all over with kitchen paper to just take off any final grease, ready for preparation. Combination of heat and removal of the grease is really important at this stage to make sure that the actual paint adheres and sticks. Okay, so that is the cleaning part, and once I've done the final degrease, I'm then going to use the paint. Now, I've done lots of research into the paint. There's lots of different things to do. Pour 15 seems to get really good reviews, where you can just go straight onto the metal straight away with that without any problems. I've gone for a slightly different approach. I wanted to use spray paint because I think it's going to give a slightly better overall finish, and I am using a 3-part set with VHT paints, which you can get online. I'll put the links in the description. But this is a 3-part paint scheme. So the first part is basically primer. This is absolutely key from everything I've read to get a really long-term result, and actually this actually really taking the paint that then goes on top of it. So this is going to go on first all over aluminium and the steel block. That goes on in 3 coats, 2 very light coats and then 1 medium coat. Leave that to dry. Then I'm going to hit it with some, this is aluminium silver paint. That's the main paint I'm going to do the entire block in, which I think will come up quite nicely, and also will mean in the future I should be able to see oil leaks and things like that much easier on a silver based block than a black based block. And then the final coat is a lacquer. It's a gloss clear, which essentially gives it a real hardened finish and helps with resistance to things like oils, fuel and things like that. And apparently from everything I've read on this VHT system, you've got to do the top coat, otherwise it can potentially flake off if you're not careful. So 3-part paint, lots and lots of painting to come up. 2 light coats, 1 medium coat of each. So I've got 9 coats of paint to put onto this block. At the same time, I've got a whole bunch of the smaller parts I've taken off the engine, and I've cleaned those up in exactly the same way, and I'm going to do those as well at the same time. So on we go. I'm just going to give you a quick whiz round the actual engine now so you can see what I've done, show you some of the smaller parts, and we'll get on with the paint. Okay, so here's the engine. It's looking actually pretty clean all round, really taking it back to the bare metal, and treated it, as I said, with that Q-rust, which is brilliant stuff. So I've literally taped up all the bits at the end, kind of got a bit of a cover over the top. Anything else that's left now is going to be painted, and then I've got a smaller little paint station down here with some of the smaller parts from the actual engine to actually paint as well. And then, as I mentioned earlier, got a little 2 kilowatt heater just going on here, and as you can see, I've kind of basically made this a little little paint shop basically here in the end of my garage, to try and, 1, contain the fumes slightly, and also to help with keeping it warmer down this end. And a little bit of a close-up of the paints, primer, VHT, I'll put some links about that as I mentioned. So we're going to get on with this and give it a go. clean up and start painting. Here we go.